Good morning once again. I will try to keep it very brief and touch upon some of the points and points which are relevant for the current discussion. Um, all the distinguished speakers in the morning and also our chairman has highlighted 4 or 5 themes. So these themes are smallholder farming, ecosystem or partnership approach, building infrastructure, farmer specific solutions, and market orientation. And I'm sure that you will find all these themes directly or indirectly connected to the idea of each of us. Um, More or less, this topic also has been covered extensively in the morning, so I'll try to skip. Most of our farmers are small, they are heterogeneous, they are scattered across the length and breadth of this large country, and they are faced with poor infrastructure. And I'm sure, I think all of us agree on this, and we'll move on to the. So, farmers being small, farmers being low on investment, what does it mean? So, it means that they have low investment, leading to low productivity, leading to weak market orientation, leading to low value addition, leading to low margin. So this is a kind of vicious cycle most of these small farmers are caught into. So if you draw an analogy, what does it mean? So it's like climbing a wall which is leaning towards you. So this is the kind of challenge farmer is facing. So in this context, so ITC has attempted to draw up a value chain which removes some of these hurdles and at the same time benefits ITC to procure quality inputs at a competitive price. That's how the whole idea of each opal has been born in early 2000. So each opal broadly consists of two types of infrastructure. One is digital infrastructure, which consists of a website with price information as well as agricultural practices information, which is available to the farmers in their village. And the second type of infrastructure is the procurement infrastructure, which has been created at a block level or district level for procuring the farmers' produce. So this is a digital infrastructure as well as a physical infrastructure. And at the same time, it is also information infrastructure as well as human infrastructure, whereas Sanchalak, who is the lead farmer, is in the village transferring the information which is available on the website to his fellow farmers of his community. So each opal broadly, the two main transactions which farmers do were like this. While buying the inputs, so he is dependent on the input dealer for both information as well as transaction. So the information and the transaction of buying were bundled. That's where there is a disproportionate negotiating power between the buyer and the seller. Buyer being the input dealer and the seller being the input dealer and buyer being the farmer. So on the other side, when he goes to sell his produce, again information and transaction are bundled by the commodity trader who buys the produce from the farmer. And I'm talking about early 2000. So even mobile phones were just coming up. Forget about the rural, but in the urban. So the main source of information was mainly newspapers. That was also 2-3 days old data. So when the farmer takes his produce a tractor or a truck or a bullock cart, so he will know exact price only after reaching the mandi, not before he decides to sell. So the kind of limitation he is facing. So he is at a disadvantage both while buying as well as selling inputs. So that's where we try to intervene and see how we can help the farmer. So what happens with each of all? So when it comes to selling his produce, the farmer can know what is the price he is going to get tomorrow, one day before itself in the evening in his. Apart from that information of at what price he can sell, the other relevant information like what is the price in the nearby mandis is also available to the farmer. So farmer can decide whether he wants to sell tomorrow or not. Second, whether he wants to sell it to ITC or any other person in mandi. So here the information is provided to the farmer, which is free, and he has freedom of choice to choose where he wants to transact. So what we have done basically, we have unbundled the information and transaction. So these two are two independent events now. So he can get the free information from ITC. If he finds that there is other market which is offering him a better price, he can always choose that. Similarly, when it comes to the input side, practices side, uh, we have about 24 centers where the inputs are made available to farmers. Not only that, but a lot of information on how to use the inputs, what are the key practices, all that information is put up on the website. Sanchalak, who is our lead farmer in the village, can read out or transfer that knowledge to the farmer in the village. Apart from that, we have a lot of feet on ground working with the farmers to take some of these best practices to them. It's not only the website, but it's the website, the lead farmer, and our feet on the ground, which is the combination which is trying to improve the farm practices of farmers. So this is the our flagship program, what we call Chaupal Pradarshan K, which is like it's very similar to the field level demonstration programs done by all the national institutes. It's very designed very similar to that, but there are certain principles we have kept in mind to make it more of a platform partnership based approach rather than only ITC doing it. So here, who are the key stakeholders in the program? First, farmers themselves. So we have consultation with the farmers before beginning of the program, again at the end of the program. Beginning of the program to decide what are the priorities for that crop for that season, and at the end to analyze the results and prepare the way forward for the subsequent season. So we closely work with the research organizations to the latest varieties as well as latest practices which can be incorporated into our extension program. We partner with input providers so that relevant inputs can be factored into this program. And we also work with the financial institutions, basically SBI, extend farm credit to the farmers. So we try to provide a holistic or 360-degree kind of a facility to the farmer so that every aspect of farming is covered. So these are the benefits. What are the benefits to ITC? Basically, we get continuous linkage with farmers, and we can also maintain the traceability of the produce what we are sourcing. So to the farmers, obviously incremental yield and the risk mitigation, and the partners who come with us, basically they get end-to-end interface with farmers. They get a database of the farmers and obviously sales. So the other point which we feel is very, very critical for the success of our program is a very, very process-driven program starting from registration, uh, prior to registration, communication, registration, training, field visits, farmer meets, and output measurement. Each of it being planned very much in advance, co-opting the partners and documenting every stage so that a quality control can be maintained in each step of this. So what is the success we have achieved with this program? So some of the examples, soybean has been a key crop for us. We have been working now almost for more than 10 years. So when we started, two things were very, limitations for improving the soybean yield. One is the plant stand. Farmers generally maintain a very high plant stand than recommended plant stand, and with the belief that higher number of plants, higher the yield. And second thing is the use of certified or foundation seed. Um, the soybean quality of the seed deteriorates very fast if you don't store it properly. So if you are using your own seed, there is a very high chance of low germination. So those are the two aspects initially we targeted. And now, initial farmers practice of 9 inches between row to row distance, now we could make it about 14 inches row to row distance. And that's how we addressed the then the seed replacement rate, which was like less than 10%, has moved up to 30% now. Uh, so these are the two key things we could achieve in soybean over a period of time. Similarly, in paddy in UP, we could successfully introduce paddy hybrids where usage was very low. When we have taken up the demonstrations on this program, the usage has percent plus in our areas. When it comes to wheat, we have been focusing on the resource conservation, especially in the eastern UP. The gap between the paddy harvesting and wheat sowing has been very, very short. So we could successfully introduce zero tillage for wheat sowing, followed by rice. When it comes to barley, this was our latest experiment last year. So we have partnered with another organization to promote a specific variety of barley. So if you look at UP, 6-row barley is mostly used for animal feed, whereas we introduce 2-row barley, which is used for malting, which gives a very high value to farmer. So what are the learnings? So basically, the learnings are ecosystem approach, which has been emphasized by most of the speakers in the morning. So we could demonstrate that at the field level by co-opting 4 or 5 partners in each of these programs, and all of them playing their roles. Second thing is an integrated approach, basically starting from seed to the harvesting, again to the seed, which we want to further take it further forward from seed to sale, to take it from system, from the first crop to the last crop of the year. So that farmer gets much broader inputs. Then I already explained to you about the rigorous process we follow. Process is very important, and the communication. So we talked about large number of farmers. To them is difficult. So that's where we use multiple mediums to reach them. So there could be physical meetings. We have this website. Then we have radio, which is basically an audio, and then we have Mela kind of thing where we reach a large number of farmers. Having said that, still we are grappling with some of the challenges. Again, these were also not new, highlighted in the morning. Solution suited to each farmer and every season. So, but especially in the crops of our interest, where we have been working for a long time, so we could build up an approach of, if not each farmer, but how could we have POP for a segment of farmers. For example, if I talk about soybean, so for a soybean farmer, for an X variety, for a light soil, for a medium soil, or for a heavy soil, or for a heavy rainfall zone, or for a less rainfall zone, for a farmer who is capable of high investment, or a farmer who is capable of, how do you do POP? Take these variables and in POP which is suited to these variables. Is we think as an approach can lead to ultimately every farmer, every season kind of a solution. Then farm level constraints. The Indian farms are very scattered, and some of the farmers in rainy season you can't go in, equipment cannot go in, and there most of them don't have even basic kind of leveling. So these are the farm level constraints or infrastructure constraints farmers face, and they don't have any easy solutions. Similarly, at a community level, at a village level, some of the infrastructure challenges. Um, uh, when we started in 2000, now we're 2012. As far as power is concerned, we don't see there is any improvement. So we have a major challenge to make computer work in the. So we have given batteries, as a backup. They get charged when the power is there, and farmer can use it. But that also creates problems sometimes. And if there is a breakdown of the computer or the VSAT which has been provided for the internet connectivity or the any other equipment, it takes long time to fix it because the service providers are not there in the near vicinity. So I'm sure these are the challenges